What is going on, everybody out there? It's your boy CryptoMykel here, coming today with a FLUXnode update, guys. Here we are coming up with a plan of action moving forward with our FLUXnodes. It is T-minus about 5 days until the first node collateral halving happens and that's going to be for the Cumulus nodes, which we currently are running one right now. But here in the next day or so, my node will probably be going offline to prepare for what's to come. All right, so let's kind of talk about that, right? Here is the collateral halving, guys. As you know, March 12th at block height 10. Oh, actually, what is that? 1,076,532. So that is the block height that will initiate everything. All right, so the transition period will start on the 12th for the Flux fork and node collateral halving. All right, March 13th, the new benchmarks, Flux version 3.0 will be enforced. Now, remember, guys, if you are running a full node, like I am right now still, I never upgraded to the light node setup. Your full node will go offline. You have until I think the 26th or something like that in order for it to not be offline. But you need to migrate your full node over anyway, because of course the collateral will be null and void. But you have until the 26th. Now, stating that now, don't wait until the 26th, is the best time to make sure you have your private keys saved, your wallet address for your full node, things like that. Make sure you have that stuff backed up and saved, because once you've migrated your nodes over anyway, and you go into the light nodes, your address changes, and the private node to that or the private key to that address changes. So, in order to claim your parallel assets that you've had and that you were holding at maybe the time of the snapshot coming in May, you can still have access to those rewards. That way they're not lost. Just not really lost, but just not accessible to you because you don't have the private key in the wallet. So make sure you keep that. Make sure you have it backed up and saved before you your node goes offline and everything, and you end your node. So this is what we got to watch out for. This is when our new benchmarks will be available. We'll be able to run a Cumulus node for 1,000 Flux. And of course, we want to run a Nimbus node, but we're a little short of 12,500. We do have 12,000 and some change, but currently we're a little under, so we actually might utilize this in-between time, where we actually might just run a couple of Cumulus nodes and then kind of get some data on what it's like running multiples. Eventually we'll be able to run multiples on the same hardware. So if you're running a Nimbus setup, not the node, but you have the requirements of a Nimbus, you could run more than one Cumulus node. You could effectively run two easily at the most. All right, you'd be able to run it, which is really cool. So we'll get to do a little bit of testing while we're waiting for the rest of our earnings to kind of roll in, but we'll have a chance to run multiple Cumulus nodes. We have our Contabo node already set. We have this one right here, which is the 60 gigabytes of RAM. We have a lot of headroom. It's the biggest one that they have. In order to run a Nimbus node, it's overkill, but actually isn't that badly priced for what it is. All right, so and then once that happens, I'll actually be able to run I'll be able to run a Nimbus node on top of my already Nimbus node, or Cumulus node on top of my Nimbus node. But right now on Contavo, they are having a pretty good deal. If you want to run a Cumulus node, you can get it done pretty cheap. Alright, so 4 cores, 8 gigabytes of RAM, that is, we only need 2 cores, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 220 gigabytes of SSD, which it only comes with 50, but you can just scroll down and you can actually upgrade it. You have a 200 gigabyte SSD that you can upgrade for free. The 50 gigabyte is free. Or you can upgrade on up to like the 400 gigabyte SSD. So they had a deal where actually this was actually a free option like a couple weeks ago. A few people got in on it, and actually pretty cool. So 400 gigabyte SSD, we're gonna run it like say Central, and yeah, that's would be your current set for what do we do today. The setup fee is one time, but you'd be paying $10.74 monthly for your Cumulus node. If you pay it like forward, I think, yeah, if you do a whole year, you just pay the full year. You don't have to pay a setup fee at all. They waive your setup fee completely. So this is actually the price that I would actually go with. Personally, it is kind of the best deal for your money. They lower your setup fee, and you don't have to pay you pay 3 months. You don't have to pay 37, and then at your next 3 months, you would pay what would it be? 10.74, 10.74 times 3, be $32 because you wouldn't have to pay the setup fee because it's already set up. So pretty cool. This is where we'll be running our Cumulus node. Now, of course, I already have my requirements, like I said, for my Nimbus node claimed on my Contavo. So I'm actually going to run a Cumulus node on that and kind of see how it goes and see maybe how many I can stack in there just for testing purposes. We would have 10,000 flux to use because we have a Cumulus node currently. So we have options, but the plan of action moving forward is we are just going to go ahead and plan of action moving forward. We're just going to go ahead and run a couple of Cumulus nodes up until we have our collateral for our Nimbus node, as well as we'll get a feel of what the new payout structures are going to be at. If we see an influx around like 5,000 Cumulus nodes, or 5,000 nodes in general, I think is what the structure was, our payouts would actually be around every 28 hours. And now that is technically less than what we make now. We won't be losing rewards per block sign share that we find, but you would lose payout in a whole because you would be getting less of them every 28 hours. So it's a little over a day. So kind of push things back a little bit as it is. Now, right now it's at like 26 hours or something like that. So it's not far off from what it already is. We get payouts sometimes every day. Sometimes it's every other day. That is kind of the plan of action that we have moving forward. Is we're going to run a few Cumulus nodes, do a little bit of testing on it. If running multiple Cumulus nodes would be more profitable than running a Nimbus node. So we'll have quite a bit of content coming out here soon, specifically over more FLUXnode stuff. We'll be running the new light node setup. So running the light node, there is even a guide for this already created by Ali, and it is the full Flux light node setup. We'll have a video covering this when we set up the first node here in like 5 days. We'll be running around this route. There is a video for it as well from Goose. Very great video. Love Goose. but we'll also be having our own video here on the channel of us setting ours up, because the process is a little bit different. Not really much different, just where and how you're storing your flux is different. You won't be going the full node route any longer. So currently, these are the current standings in profitability per month, per Cumulus node, as well as per Nimbus node. So at the start, we're gonna start out trying to run 2 of these. We'll run 1 on the Nimbus requirements that we have, and then I'm gonna use Contabo and rent this exact setup right here, and we'll let that sit as well. So we will effectively run 2 from the get-go. So that'd be about $382 per month in dollars. That is. So we get about, I think it's about 50. It's about 50-ish flux. So we'll get about 100 flux in a month's time from both of these nodes. So staking all that up together, I think the tipping point would be 3 Cumulus nodes is the tipping point at current economical standing and earnings. You would effectively make more than you would running a Nimbus node. So a little bit different requirements, of course. You would have to have enough requirements to run all 3 of these. So that's going to be quite a bit of requirements. You would have to have 24 gigabytes of RAM, as well as, well, 220 times 3, 660 gigabytes of NVMe storage, as well as all the bandwidth and the cores in order to run this. Now, with the setup that we have already set for our Nimbus, right here, we don't have the NVMe storage for it. We would actually have to upgrade our storage in order to do that. But we would be able to effectively run maybe 2, because I do have some upgraded storage capacity here that I can go with. But yeah. So guys, if you like this video and would love to see more content, because we will be doing, of course, more node content coming out, especially here in the next 5 days, we'll start gearing up and doing content and getting ready for our Flux node. So this is our plan of action moving forward for our Flux nodes and our Flux node earnings as being a node op. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. See you down the week. Go live here, guys. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out. Much love. And keep on being a Flux node op. We'd greatly appreciate it. Later, guys.